Good morning. You're listening to The Nonprofit Voice with Ron Gold. 2024 is my 50th year in radio, and this year I will be highlighting the people in nonprofits who've been featured on my shows in the past 10 years on 103.9 FM, Long Island News Radio, who've made a difference in the lives of people with disabilities. The Nonprofit Voice is a division of Marketing Works and Event Works. Today's featured agency is
Trellus with Adam Haber. What's up, buddy?
Mike LePetri. How you doing, big boy?
How you doing? Listen, before we begin, I want to just give a shout out to our sponsors, the Coca Group and Winter Bros Waste System, with our new co-host, the Nonprofit Voice, with my fellow friend Ron Gold, is Mike LePetri, your new co-host, former New York State Assemblyman and host of the Mike LePetri Show, available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Mike LePetri if you want to hear this beautiful voice any further. But without further ado, Adam Haber with Trellus. What's up, buddy? How's everything been going with Trellus? Tell us all about what is Trellus for those that are unfamiliar with your company.
Well, Mike, we were both in government in one facet or another over the last 15 or 20 years, and every elected official always says, shop local, support, local businesses, and then you always see Amazon boxes on their doorsteps, which is a nonpartisan issue. And I had this idea kind of from that. How can we help small businesses? And the reality is they're getting their butts kicked by Amazon and big chains like Walmart and Target, and there's no way for them to compete because they can't compete on economies of scale with a box store, or they can't afford to pay 30 or 40% by the time they're done with their fees on the Amazons of the world. So I, with a couple other very smart guys, created this way for small businesses to provide logistics on demand very affordably, so you can deliver products from your favorite stores to your home in a couple hours versus going online and getting them in a couple days. And then we just finished raising a bunch of money to launch a true marketplace where you'll sit home in your pajamas and buy things from hundreds of stores in Long Island, Westchester, and then beyond from local stores and get it delivered to your house so you could shop local, and your value add is time. And that's the value of the consumer. So that's the business in a nutshell.
So instead of going to Amazon and big box stores and big business that's crippling our small businesses, you're telling me I can go to local stores and have it delivered right to my door?
Right now, we're a B2B business. We have 445 businesses that work with us.
Love it.
No hot food. We're not DoorDash.
Right, we're not DoorDash.
4-hour delivery zone.
Right.
So your local pharmacy, your local bakery, toy store, hardware, sporting goods, retail, you name it. Chocolate shops, gift baskets, wine. Anything you want, we don't take a piece of the sale from the business. We drive them business through our directory on our website, and then if they take an order over the phone or through their website, we are their delivery driver on demand 7 days a week, very affordably.
I love it. And so here's the thing. So then now you're doing business, but you're opening this marketplace that's going to happen that's going to be able to compete with Amazon and the big box stores. When's that timeline? When did you say?
Yes. $4 million, finishing up a raise to build out the tech. Mid-April, just about, we're going to be launching it first in Nassau County, because you want to basically search for things and not have an empty party. So we're going to have as many businesses as possible jammed in our first launch in Nassau, and that's going to, the target date's April 15th. But one thing I don't know if you know or not, we bought Locally Bred, a gift box subscription company, as a way to also help these small businesses by aggregating them in gift boxes. So we're doing everything we can. No one's doing what we're doing in the country. It's exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time.
I love that. And you're making it where it's going to be more affordable for the businesses. Maybe they don't have, because many of these different small businesses, they don't have delivery, right? They don't have delivery drivers. They don't think like they either can't afford one, or it's just a matter of finding the tech to be able to build that out. Is that right?
Well, if you think about your average small business owner, they're small because they don't have huge amounts of capital. They can't afford a full-time driver, a car, insurance, gas, which is about $60,000 a year. So their brother, their uncle, their kid goes out and does deliveries, but it's not a good way to scale.
Yeah.
We create that. We use tech, our own in-house tech, to aggregate and also create optimized routes for these businesses to drive the cost down and do it much cheaper than they ever can at about 40% the cost. So florists can do hundreds of deliveries on Mother's Day with us and not miss a beat. It's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And how come now, say people, like, why is this better than, say, I think UPS and others services that exist in that sense? How is this different with Trellus?
Well, UPS serves a great service. I mean, it's an incredible business model, but UPS isn't delivering your shin guards for your daughter's soccer game that you need in the next couple hours, or flowers, or picking up your meds. They're not doing that very quickly, and we stand between you buying, your local Chinese food or pizza through DoorDash and UPS. We're in that spot that no one's really servicing and helping people get products to their home last minute. You're running out. Your kid's got a birthday party at 6:00. You forgot to pick up a toy. After a commute to the city, do you want to run to the mall, or do you just want to press an app and have it dropped off at your house before you get there? I mean, that's the whole model.
Yeah, you said hours. How many hours is this? Like, if I say I'm at work and I go, oh man, I gotta get a gift to drop off for a birthday party today. I don't know if I'm gonna make it in time. I mean, if I'm placing an order, what time? Like, you're telling me that day I can get it to my door?
It's as long as you get the order in by 5:00, it'll be done same day.
That's awesome.
We try and do it as quickly as possible. 90% of our orders are delivered within under 2 hours from the moment they're placed.
Oof.
But if you're doing a route of 15 flower drop-offs, your last drop-off's not going to be in 2 hours. It'll be whenever the route's done. But
of course.
Same day.
Same day, baby. I love that. Now, what's this business-to-business model that you have ongoing currently? How does this operate? How is this helpful to businesses? And then specifically, how is this also helpful with nonprofits?
Oh, it's a good question. So businesses directly with us. The consumer doesn't really know about Trellus because we don't have the app working yet. That's coming in 6 weeks.
Right.
So the business just buys essentially a delivery label from us. The act of doing that pings the closest driver, and we have the relationship with them. You'll see in some stores on Long Island on the window, just like you see a DoorDash or Uber sticker, there's a Trellus sticker. But they work with us, and we're basically their delivery drivers. Now, nonprofits, we didn't even realize there was a market for this, but some libraries need to deliver to seniors or homebound disabled. We work with several farms. Elijah Farm in Huntington is a nonprofit. We do their CSA delivery routes for them with food. We do diaper delivery. We're working, hopefully getting some major grant money from the state of New York. There's 4,000 seniors who can get a federal program of food, but there's no way to deliver it, and they're hopefully going to get the grant money to do that. We have the logistics, the drivers, the infrastructure to deliver anything as long as it doesn't explode and it's not hot food. We don't do people, hot food, or explosives. So if you have dynamite, don't call.
I like that. But let's break it down. You were talking about libraries. How are you helping the libraries?
So libraries, it's almost an incredible resource that people forget is there.
I agree.
But if you're a stay-at-home mom or dad who wants to get books or even a homeschool family, you need books and you can't get out. You're disabled. You can't get to the library. You're seniors. We deliver to senior homes. We pick up and drop off
all the books.
Several libraries in Long Island, CDs that they have, or tapes, or books, or whatever magazines, or whatever else they have that you can get from a library. We do that for them very affordably, and there's special rates for nonprofits. We waive all fees but delivery fees, and it works out really well.
Yeah, I like that a lot, specifically the fact that you waive all of their fees except delivery fees. I mean, that shows, because you're not trying to kill a nonprofit. You want to help them. You want to help them grow and thrive throughout Long Island. Now, with these books, so they can just rent them online and they'll be able to transport, and you just transport them because you know exactly what they're borrowing, correct?
Yeah. Look, the name Trellus is really trellis in a garden that connects flowers, but it's not Trellis. The website is BYTRELLUS, meaning us, businesses, consumers, local nonprofits. And that's the name of the business and the whole mentality. We're trying to connect small businesses, nonprofits to consumers so everything stays within the community.
That's beautiful. And with these, now the farms you were saying, so you had nonprofit farms you're working with. Tell me about that, because I've always been somebody that says you got to buy local, you got to support local homegrown food. I mean, the local farms that always have different times where they showcase what foods they have. I mean, talk to me about that, like all the different farmers markets. Like, it's always about going to those and helping those locally homegrown. So tell me about these farms that are nonprofits.
Look, people want to get things delivered to their home. That's just the way the world works.
Yes.
I mean, most people who are small businesses or farms or nonprofits want people coming to them because they'll buy more stuff. However, farms are struggling in Long Island, and there are some nonprofit farms. One of them specifically is in Huntington that has 10 acres, and they have throughout the season vegetables. People buy a box of vegetables, and they used to have to hire people or figure out how to get it to people's homes for a weekly or monthly subscription. And we do that with them. We do that with multiple farms in Long Island, and we actually, coincidentally, there was an article in Newsday last week about the oyster industry getting crushed. We had a company reach out to us called North Fork Big Oyster. So if you live within 10 miles of Huntington, you want to get fresh oysters delivered to your house, we're working with them. So we work with small businesses, nonprofits, anything that needs something picked up or dropped off. We're capable of doing it much more efficiently and affordably than anybody else can.
I think that's excellent. I mean, the Huntington, and what's this farm in Huntington?
It's called Elijah Farm. They basically have autistic children with programs. People work there, and they pick the vegetables and everything else they have. And it's a really special place. I didn't even know it was there until about 6 months ago. If you wanted to check out a cool place in the country, really in the middle of Huntington, you should check out the farm. It's a nice place to visit.
Yeah, Elijah Farms. That's a great shout out to them, and hopefully that'll help them grow, especially more people being aware of it. A lot of times that's what it comes down to, is are people aware? Do they even know it exists? And once they do, and when you have a great product, a great service, I mean, people want that. People are hooked on it. They're indiscriminate towards great ideas, as I always say. But let me ask you now about this diaper delivery. That is something that sounds like to me just huge with helping out with those people in need. Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. There's a gal who started this charity, and there's a much bigger charity like it in Westchester we're speaking to also. But she has 20 to 25 families that can't afford diapers. It's a very expensive, reoccurring expense for families that are living on the margins, and she raises money, and she used to have to pay a lot of money to have people figure out how to deliver them, and we handle it for her. So she donates the diapers to families in need, and we handle the logistics of it. It's the woman's name is Kerry. She's a really interesting woman. She's also in marketing, but she's got a great heart, and she raises money, and we drop them off. Wow.
Does Kerry have an organization
I'm completely blanking.
Yeah, you're just working directly with Kerry.
But she's if anybody wants to reach out to me, it's adam@bytrellus.com. I'll get you her contact information, and Elijah Farms or anybody else's. I'm happy to share what we're doing and work with food banks or anybody else that needs help.
Yeah. Now these, specifically with food, you're talking about seniors getting food, and now
right. So
yeah. What's this grant that you're working on? Let's hear this. This sounds great.
Island Harvest, as you know, is an incredible organization.
Yep.
They're Long Island Cares and Island Harvest, the two main providers of food to the food insecure, and there's an extraordinary number of people who need food and can't afford it. It's almost beyond comprehension, and they have money. I mean, a lot of money from the federal government, including these baskets of 35 pounds of food to be delivered monthly. And there's 4,000 seniors in just Suffolk County alone who are eligible for this program. However, can you imagine coordinating 4,000 drop-offs with volunteers and making sure everybody gets it and making sure that the family who does get it gets the right box and everything like that?
No shot.
Yeah.
I'm not coordinating that with timing, when they are. I mean, absolutely not.
So the elected officials, it's April 1st is the budget, as you know, and they just had a lobbying day up in Albany, and they're working on getting a grant the food's there from the federal government. They're working getting a grant to deliver it. So welcome to government, where the federal government provides something for their constituents, but they don't tell you how to get it.
Yeah.
So that's what we're working on. If that's happening, if that works, it could be a big deal and a model for the rest of the country, because, we have basic rights as citizens, and one of them is the ability just not to starve to death. So I feel really excited about this project.
Yeah, and now these are non-perishable goods, just to be clear, correct?
Most of them are. However, they also have some cheese that's part of the program too.
Oh, okay. All right, excellent. Yeah, that's and so how does that will that work? Where it's X amount of, will that be every week, or will it be just at one time where each family just gets one time, or as much as they need for as long as they need?
From what I've learned of the program, it's a 35-pound box, once a month.
Oh, it is one. That's what I'm saying. Once a month.
Yeah.
Then
yeah.
that'll be a huge help to the many families that are needing that and asking for it and requesting it. And it's a matter of making sure we get that to them, as opposed to where it's just I need this. Okay, well, this is working the logistics behind it to making sure everything works smoothly and everyone gets what they deserve, which is fantastic.
If you're still in Albany, I know you'd be all over this.
What's that?
If you were still in Albany, I know you'd be all over this.
I'm always on something that's going to be helping people. So even though I'm not in Albany, I'm still all about it, baby. That's how I operate. It ain't just because of the title. It's all about the heart.
I'm a fan.
I love that. We got a few minutes left. I really wanted to harp on really the next steps with this rollout. You have the rollout coming in the next several weeks, and then what's it going to consist of with how businesses can get involved, that they want to join? How does the subscription model works? What's the pricing for that? What's happening with those details?
Well, I appreciate you asking. So we're making this so much more affordable than selling through 1-800-Flowers, Drizzly, DoorDash, Amazon, Etsy.
Because they're taking so much in the fee. I mean, you look at some of these orders, it's a crazy fee that they get.
By the time you're done doing an order on Amazon, because my son has a pet products company, he sells goods there. By the time you're done getting any kind of placement, advertising, storage, it's 40% of the sales. So you're working on pennies.
Yeah.
And Amazon's making the money. What our model is we're not having warehouses. We're not going to have 200,000 square foot warehouses with inventory. We're not going to be spending $7 million on a Super Bowl commercial. We have a $400,000 advertising campaign just for Nassau County for the launch. And what we do is we'll take the inventory on the websites of small businesses, and if they don't have websites, they could just take a picture and upload an image, and we're aggregating it. And all that inventory will be there, and then the consumer, if you live in Huntington, which next, let's use a village in Nassau County. If you live in Plainview, there'll be a 7-mile radius, and all the products from the stores within that radius will show up on your portal. So if you type in flowers, pharmacy, chocolates, retail clothing, all the stores in that area will come up.
Stores that by you.
Long Beach, you'll get a different experience. And we're just taking 10% of the sale, capped at $100. So if you sell a $300 pair of shoes or expensive items, our maximum commission is $10, and there's no cost to be on our platform. Wow. If you want us to deliver it for you, we will. You can do it yourself. It's up to you. But we have a full infrastructure for every small business in Nassau County to be able to provide better service than anybody else could, including Amazon and Walmart and Target and everybody else, and get those things to your consumers quickly. And I think I had mentioned earlier that or maybe I did not, my son had a birthday party, and my wife would call me after a 3-hour commute to the city, and she would say, go to the mall and get a toy for your son's birthday party. And I don't want to fight traffic for an hour to get it. And why can't I just push a button or click an app and have it at my house? And that's the whole thing. Shop local, support your stores, and the value add is getting it to your doorstep quicker than anybody else.
Right, same day. Exactly what you were talking about. As this grows, are you in Nassau County? Are you looking to bring it out to Suffolk for many of our listeners that are intrigued and loving Trellus?
We will be out there by late summer, but execution is a big deal.
Yep.
We want your first experience to be a positive one. So it's just a function of having enough vendors in a certain area. Since the 3 co-founders are all Nassau guys, we're Long Island guys, but we grew up, in Nassau. We have most of our merchants tight here. We want to be all the way out to Montauk and Orient Point. I mean, we have vendors there now quite a bit, but not enough where it would be a satisfying experience for you to shop local.
Right. So as this grows, then by summer, you're looking to roll out in Suffolk County.
Yep.
Where they can have it for the boom and for everyone that needs anything throughout the summer vacations. They're going away this week and like, oh man, I forgot something. They can go to Trellus and just shop local and get that dropped off to their home ASAP. Is that right?
Mike, you want farm fresh vegetables the day they're picked. You can get them from a farm out east. The goal is to have wineries. Also, all the local businesses that are struggling, anything delivered to your doorstep.
Wow. That's going to be, except, so the food, the farm fresh food is different from the hot meals, right? That's what we're talking.
We do seafood. We do butchers. We will not deliver your pizza, Chinese food,
right,
or chicken parm because it's a very competitive space, and that's not our model. Our model is helping everybody but hot food from restaurants. We do a lot of food, but not hot food. No people, no explosive, no dynamite.
Well, let me see 1 second. How do they get to you, Adam Haber, one last time?
You can email me at adam@bytrellus.com, that's US, or you could check out the website, bytrellus.com, or you could shoot me a text. My phone number is 516-578-1815. My goal is to help keep dollars local and help Long Island's economy thrive.
As always, it is my pleasure, Adam Haber, to have you. For those, again, check him out, Trellus, Trellus, so bytrellus.com for more. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your co-host, Mike LaPetri, the Nonprofit Voice, signing off. Have a great day.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.